friends, welcome back to another Wisdom Wednesday here at CHALEESE Bakes Cakes. Last time I left you, we were learning how to crumb coat our cake. I told you at the end of my video that as we're crumb coating, we put it into the freezer and bring it out and make sure you can touch your cake without any buttercream coming off on your hands. That is happening right now, so we are ready for the final coat. I'm also going to teach you guys how I get those sharp edges, and I know that you guys have seen in my videos of me putting these on the top of my cakes. I'm going to show you guys what that's about today. All right, I have an opinion here, and some people probably don't love it, and that's okay because we have lots of opinions. I love using cardboard rounds on top of my cake to get those sharp edges. A lot of times you've seen the acrylic discs. These are really good too for getting those sharp, crisp edges. You do have to buy these, they're reusable. You guys just clean them off after. These ones you can reuse if you want, or you can just throw them away. It's really up to you. A lot of times I can reuse them a few times. These are really good. The acrylic discs, you can buy these around you can buy them. My personal opinion, when you put one of these on, you get the 6-inch 0.25. So it uses a lot of extra buttercream to get those sharp edges because you have to put the buttercream up to the sides. And there's a lot of excess. And for me, it's just too much sometimes using all of that buttercream to fill it in. However, they do work very well, and I do recommend using them. If you don't like the cardboard rounds, definitely get an acrylic disc. I, however, have to use cake boards anyways. There's one on the bottom here and underneath. I'll show you guys how I pull it off in another video, but I use these to go on top of my cakes. I like these better, just my personal preference, remember. You guys can do it however you want, but I prefer the cardboard rounds because, as I said it here, you can see already that I don't use as much buttercream to put it on top. So this is my personal preference. I really like the cardboard rounds. You can also get the acrylic disc if you so choose. Lots of people love these, and I like them, and I will definitely use them. But if I had the choice between the two, I definitely would use the cardboard round over the acrylic disc. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys how we do this. You do not have to use any of these on top of your cake for a final coat of buttercream. This is just a way to help you get sharp, crisp edges. I will have a video coming up where I will frost the cake and I won't use one of these, so I'll show you guys both ways. Today, however, we're learning about cardboard rounds and why we use them. So we just put it on top. Make sure it's as straight as it can be. And when I'm making stripes on my cakes, I tend to put my buttercream in piping bags and then pipe it all the way around, and that's how my final coat starts. You can do that anytime, but usually when I'm just doing this, no stripes, kind of just a simple one, I just get my spatula and we just start filling it in. So we're just gonna keep on filling in right here. So you can see I'm getting it filled to the top really close. I don't want any gaps between that cardboard round and my cake. So it does use quite a bit of buttercream, but not as much as the acrylic discs would use. So you just start swiping this buttercream across the top. It's important to get your cardboard disc onto it and stuck before you move on to the bottom with your frosting, just so that it's on safe and secure. So when you do use your cake scraper, it stays on nice and snug. So as you can see, I've got it on nice and snug right now. Now I'll work on putting buttercream around the rest of the cake. It's the same process that I showed you when we did our chrome coat. You just get buttercream, just swipe it onto our cake all the way down. Remember before you start your final coat of buttercream, to beat that buttercream with a wooden spoon. A lot of people can do it. They do it in their mixers. After they make their buttercream, they just turn it on low for like 3 minutes, and that helps with the air bubbles. It does help. For me, I like to beat it with my wooden spoon, and that really helps get those extra air bubbles out of your buttercream so your final coat can go on a lot smoother. Okay, we're almost down here to the bottom. It doesn't have to be anything perfect. Like I've already told everyone before, you're just putting the buttercream around the cake. Okay, we have buttercream on our cake. I'm making an Oreo cake today, if you can't tell from the color of my buttercream. It's an Oreo cake, and I'm pretty excited about it. It's hard not to taste all of the buttercream and eat it as we're going. It's definitely something that I try not to do, but who am I kidding? I always do it. All right, now that we've got our buttercream on, we pick up our cake scraper. The metal ones, I love the metal cake scrapers. I'll have a video on why, and I'll talk about why we love the metal cake scrapers. Okay, now we just slowly start swiping that buttercream away. Slowly, slowly. It's not any kind of race. We're not trying to go fast. This is how you can scrape it right off. You can go to the sink and clean it, and you will have to do that after a few swipes, but you don't have to do it every single time because we're not doing stripes. We're just swiping. So now we're just gonna swipe it. Nice and slow. And a lot of times people get a little bit too crazy and they like to push really, really hard. Not meaning to, it's just something that happens. I definitely used to do it. Don't push hard, do it pretty soft, and it will start getting smoother and smoother. Okay, you can see as we're going along, there's some holes, so I'm gonna fill in these holes, and I'm gonna bring the camera a little bit closer so you guys can watch the final steps of this final buttercream coat. Coat. Sometimes I like to just scrape off the buttercream from the top of our disc. Now, usually you could be done and start decorating however you want, but where this is on top of our cake, we have to put it into the freezer for about 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes, and then I'll show you how we get this little guy off and how we get our sharp edges. All right, guys, there is our cake frosted. Make sure that you don't obsess over it. First time I did it, it took me forever to get it to be clean and nice. And that is okay. I want you to practice, 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 and you will get it. Practice, don't give up. That is the key to all of this, practice. All right, we're gonna pop this in the freezer and then we'll cut this off the top and I'll show you those sharp edges. All right, now that the cake has been in the freezer for about 15 to 20 minutes, we are gonna cut this off the top. I've just got a big knife here and I ran it through hot water, and now we're just gonna stick our knife right under here and just kind of go slowly around. So you can see it's already starting to pop off. And there it is. Easy peasy, comes right off. Make sure your knife is warm or hot so that it will help slice that off the top. Also, if you notice that your cake, like mine, is a little bit uneven on the top, this is where you put more buttercream and it hides it and makes it all better. Let's finish off, and do you see my edges though? The edges on my cake are gonna be so sharp because of that. So let's finish this off. All right, now you just get your buttercream again. Make sure you have extra buttercream because you will need to put it on top of your cake like this. So make sure that you have extra. And I just put it right up here to the sides a little bit. Kind of just spread it around. Now to clean it up, we just get a little cake scraper. You can use your tall one as well if you don't have a small cake scraper, but then I just clean up the sides like this. Make sure that we wipe it, clean it off again, and then we kind of just smooth it out on top, pull it into the cake, right in. And then you're smoothing it out on top as best you can. And then I'm gonna get my angled spatula here. I ran that also through hot water. And now we just go like this. Push it in, wipe it. You can even dip it in warm water in a glass right where you are, so you don't have to keep going back to the sink. Dip it, pull that buttercream in. Alright guys, thanks so much for hanging out today on Wisdom Wednesday as we learn how to final coat our cake and how to get our sharp edges. Remember, you can use a cardboard round or an acrylic disc and you'll get these pretty sharp edges. Also, in my next videos, I'll show you guys how I clean off my cake board on the bottom and also how I lift it off onto the bottom cake board that I have taped to it so it makes for better pictures and all sorts of fun stuff. So thank you guys for hanging out. Make sure to subscribe to my channel and have a great day.